Hi everyone, thanks for joining us here at Book Blather. If you're new here, I'm Dave, this is Olive, and we mostly talk about books to help spread the joy of reading. So today we are bringing you yet another book haul from Gray Matter Books. So I'm beginning to feel like this is going to be a regular feature, kind of like Michael K. Vaughan's Halls of Adventure. We discovered this probably the best used bookstore that we've ever seen right by my daughter's new college. So every time I go up there, I'm going to be visiting it. I'm not even keeping up with the haul videos because I'm about to go again, and I still haven't done a video for the last one. Sorry, we still haven't done the video for the last one, right? I mean, mostly your fault. I blame you. And so we're once again we're rushing to put this one up before we go again. By the time we will be there again by the time this video goes up. So anyway. Wonderful used bookstore. Every time we go, we're picking up some cool stuff. And we did this time. It's not as huge of a pile as the first time we went, but we got some good stuff. So we will jump right into it. So the first one is, and this is going to interest our friend Gareth over Book Songs and Other Magic, is Ray Bradbury's Fairwell Summer. So this apparently is a sequel to Dandelion Wine, which I didn't know Dandelion Wine had a sequel. We are planning to read Dandelion Wine, which we have very soon because our friend Gareth has been doing this big Ray Bradbury marathon, and so we're anxious to read that one. We've heard a lot about it, and maybe we'll read them one too because this is not that long, and I didn't even know that it had a sequel. So, okay. Next one is Treasure of the Black Falcon by John Coleman Burroughs. Look at that. So if you've been around, you know that we have gotten into Edgar Rice Burroughs. This is thanks to our friend Michael K. Vaughan, who is a very big fan of Edgar Rice Burroughs and was kind enough some time ago to actually send us a starter pack of Edgar Rice Burroughs books to get us going on him. And we're so thankful that he did because we very much like Edgar Rice Burroughs. We've read like Pellucidar, we've read a number of the Tarzan books now with our friend Dia over at Novel Idea. And we haven't done John Carter yet, but we got to do that. And we've read another one or two of his. Burroughs has a lot of, isolated, just individual books. So we've read a couple of those too, which I'm not remembering the names of right now. But The Lost Continent, maybe? Anyway, so we picked this up because this apparently, John Coleman Burroughs, is apparently Edgar Rice Burroughs' son. We didn't even know Edgar Rice Burroughs had a son, much less that he was a science fiction author. So we picked it up for that reason alone. Also sounds pretty cool. This is about a team that goes down to like the depths of the ocean, but their submarine gets flung like, I think even like hundreds of miles, I don't know, gets like flung a lot deeper, and they discover these wonders and terrors deep down there. So it sounds very cool. So we were excited to see. That was one of our most exciting finds on this trip. We also picked up Space Lash by Hal Clement. Or Clement. I'm not even sure how you pronounce it. We've heard a bit about this from other people, other booktubers that like sci-fi. We've heard a bit about this author in recent times, and so we've been wanting to try him. We haven't tried him yet. And so we did recently pick up a couple of books of his at Gray Matter Books, a couple of short novels. But this is actually a collection of short stories. So this is the first collection of short stories we have by him, and so maybe this will be the first one we tackle because it's always easier for us to start with short stories. So we're excited about that. Then we picked up this, The Hephaestus Plague by Thomas Page. This looks pretty awesome. So this is about a plague of, these are, you kind of see it there, there's this swarm of beetles that are apparently very highly intelligent. So you can see right here on the cover it says, A form of beetle previously unknown to modern science. These creatures appear to be of extremely high intelligence. They have learned to travel in the exhaust systems of motor vehicles and are causing havoc and destruction in many states. Unless we are successful in finding a deterrent, America will be burned. So this is apparently a special book club edition. So just sounded wild. So okay, this was an interesting rare little find here. This was a Battlestar Galactica 2, the Cylon Death Machine. So this, I don't know if this is a novelization of. I don't really know the old. We love Battlestar Galactica. I think we've shown that some of our memorabilia on here before, but the we love the reboot of Battlestar Galactica, which we think is like one of the best science fiction shows that we've ever seen. But we don't know actually too much about the old original series. So I don't know if this is a novelization of that or this is original story. But it's Starbuck and Apollo battle a planet of lost clones, mind slaves of the Cylon warrior Volpa. So I don't know where the story came from, but we couldn't pass this up. This is by Glenn A. Larson and Robert Thurston. So we will definitely be getting into that. Then we picked up this because this just sounded wild. Sea House in the Sky by Edmund Cooper. Never heard of this author before, but this is, I don't usually read backs of books, but I have to read you this one just so you can hear what drew me to it. One moment, all 8 of them were flying from Sweden to England. The next, they were emerging from plastic coffins in the middle of a road that led to nowhere on an unknown planet beneath alien stars. A well-stocked but staffless hotel, a supermarket, and the empty shells of 2 cars. These were the raw materials of their new life. The hows of it were immaterial. It was the whys which were so frightening. I read this, and this immediately made me think of that show, Persons Unknown. I don't know if any of you have seen that show. That was one of those, like, there was just one of those. I mean, there have been different shows like this, but where, like, they just wake up in this town that's empty, like, except for their hotel and the Chinese place and a couple other things, and they don't know why they're there. There's no one else there, pretty much. And this just made me think of it immediately. It sounded so much like it. And I love that show. And it's too bad it ended before its time. It ended too early. But any of you seen that show? I never hear anybody talking about it. Persons Unknown. Comment below if you've seen that show and if you liked it, because I don't think I've met anybody actually that has seen that show. But anyway, this just sounded so much like that, so we could not pass this up. Then we got War with the Robots by Harry Harrison. Men made the machines and found out the danger too late. I don't know anything about it. I don't need to know anything more about it. I mean, that's enough. Look at it. That was enough. Okay, and the final thing we got, the most exciting thing, this was so cool. This is The Twilight Zone, the original stories. Okay, this is edited by Martin Harry Greenberg, Richard Matheson, and Charles G. Wow. If you know, Richard Harrison wrote a bunch of the stories that served as a basis for Twilight Zone episodes. So if you've been around a while, and especially if you watch our live stream with our partner in crime, Gareth, from Book Songs and Other Magic, we do a live stream called Is This Thing On? Every other Thursday. And it is probably the rare episode of our show where Twilight Zone does not come up in some fashion. We are both huge fans of Twilight Zone. Gareth does a regular series on Twilight Zone episodes, which you should definitely go check out if you haven't seen those on his channel. Both big fans, both love Twilight Zone, and this book put together a lot of the stories that served as the basis for the show were stories by big science fiction horror authors at the time. Rod Serling purchased their short stories for the show. And so this is all but one. So this book collects the previously published stories that Rod Serling bought for the Twilight Zone with one exception. Permissions difficulties prevented us from including The Chaser by John Collier, which was adapted by screenwriter Robert Presnell Jr. and aired under the name on May 13, 1960, starring George Gizzard and John McIntyre. So, except for that one story, which obviously they had trouble reprinting. They had trouble getting the rights to reprint that. Other than that, every story that Rod Serling bought for the Twilight to create Twilight Zone episodes out of it, those original stories are in here. So we were really, really excited. We almost missed this. This was like, we're in the sci-fi section and we just turned around. It wasn't where it was supposed to be. It was like on the top of a bookshelf behind us. Like somebody, I think, put it down and when they were and forgot about it when they were shelving stuff. And oh my God, we're so excited to see this. So excited to see this. So this is definitely the best find of this trip. So, all right. So that's it. We will have another Gray Matter Books episode soon because we are about to go again. So those will be regular. So you'll keep seeing them from us, but it's a great place and we keep getting some great books at incredibly great prices there. So, all right. So thanks so much for watching. If you've read any of these books or are going to read any of these books or are interested in reading any of these books, please leave us a comment and let us know. We always love to hear from you. And as always, if you don't have anything substantive you want to say, you can always leave Olive a puppy emoji because she does always like to see those, right? There you go. Sorry, I know. I was slacking on these tonight, right? Yeah. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again very soon. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other. And we'll see you next time.